in the same manner, in the same measure. Do you get that? When Yahweh says there's no respecter of persons, means we all can receive Yahweh's favor, but not all receive Yahweh's chen, his favor, in what? The same manner and in the same measure. You understand? That's what it means that there's no respecter of persons. That Yahweh will give you the same favor he gives somebody else if you seek it and if you do the right things to position yourself and to align yourself for and to pursue that favor. You follow me? Speaking in tongues, favor. Manifestation of favor. Prophesying, manifestation of favor. Loving your neighbor as yourself, manifestation of favor. Have a heart for children that they would be taught the word of Yahweh, manifestation of favor. Anointed to worship and lead the congregation into the inner courts of Yahweh's Ruach, an anointing that comes from him, has nothing to do with your talent or your voice. Favor. These are all manifest. The Hebraic mind sees all these things, even salvation itself, as a manifestation of Yahweh's favor. Salvation is a manifestation of Yahweh's favor. And salvation is the door into increased favor. You follow what I'm saying? First comes that favor, and then you position yourself for greater favor. No respecter of persons. That means anyone can receive Yahweh's favor. Chen. Raising chen. But not all do. And the bad news, good news and bad news. The good news is that you and I can receive favor because he doesn't respect one person more than the other. But the bottom line is that in order to give you favor, he's got to put someone else down. Because we're not all carrying the same anointing. Hello? We're not all carrying the same calling. We're not all carrying the same favor. He says, promotion doesn't come from the north, south, east, or west. It comes from Yahweh. All right, do you believe that? Do you believe that? Well, if you believe promotion, advantage, and benefits in your job, at your work, in your marriage, in school, in your education, in your class, in your practice, why are you in business for 7 years in your practice and everyone around you is going out of business? And why is it that no one in your neighborhood has any money? You're in a low-income neighborhood, but your business is succeeding, and someone else's business is in an upper-income neighborhood, and their business is not succeeding. Favor. They went to the same school that you went to. They got the same diploma as you. They had the same professors, but you are walking in a measure of undeserved kindness and graciousness, tuvata in Aramaic, and chen and ratzon in Hebrew, so that his will and his favor are one and the same. I and my Father, John 10:30 and 31. I and my Father are one. His favor and his will are one. You get this? Yes. If you get his will, and you're in his will, his perfect will, what kind of favor are you going to get? Partial favor or a full flowering favor? So the thing is to find out his will. See, it's not like most of us behave. Can we talk?
Let's talk. Tell it.
You're going to miss that, huh? Can we talk?
Oh, who said no back there?
I forgot what I was going to say. What was the last word before I said that? Anyone remember?
His full will.
Huh?
Full will.
His full will. Yes. Yes, thank you. His will is his favor. Oh, yes. The way to serve Yahweh is not to say, okay, Father, look, and I'm going to Israel, I'm making Aliyah, bless my home, bless my socks, bless my family, bless those I leave behind. Bye, have a nice day. That's not how you do Yahweh's will.
No, you don't.
Father, I am taking this course of action, but I know that, you know, you'll forgive me if I'm sinning. You'll forgive me if I'm sinning. And P.S., bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me, bless my mom. I'm going to Korea. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be going. I'm not sure if I'm really supposed to be leaving. But I've decided, because I really don't know your will, so I've decided to go thinking that it's your will. Bless, and then you enter into a cacophony of bless me's. Right? Bless me, bless my mom, bless my mom, bless my mom. That's not Yahweh's will. What is Yahweh's will? Read the scriptures, see what Yahweh is doing in the earth today, and join with Yahweh. Now you're in Yahweh's will. I finally figured out how to get in Yahweh's will. I got the two-house message, which is his heart for the latter days. The restoration of the true name, which is his heart for the latter days. The return of Ephraim and Yehudah to Torah, which is his heart for the latter days. I plugged into it, and now I'm prospering. No secret. Hello?
Get him.
There's no secret. To get into Yahweh's will, you plug into it, and now you're in Yahweh's will. You and I are not the Einsteins of Yahweh. We are the children of Yahweh.
Thank you. Thank you, Father.
As the children of Yahweh, we don't know always what Yahweh's will is. So we plug into what he's doing. He rested on the Shabbat. Okay, I'll plug into that. I'll rest on the Shabbat. Now I'm automatically in his will. I'm positioned for favor.
Gotcha.
It's not hard to figure out.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
His will, if I plug into his will, I'm automatically have entered into his favor. But guess what? When you and I are ready to seek his will, his ratzon, which is an interchangeable term with chen, when we receive favor, Yahweh only has a certain measure of favor that he's going to give to the human race, just like every human being has a measure of his what? Ruach. And the same way we carry different measures of the what? Ruach, we carry different measures of his chen. We don't all have the same measure of the Ruach HaKadosh, right? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So the good news is good news and bad news. Turn to your neighbor and say good and bad. The good news is he wants to give you chen and favor and tavuta, which is the same thing, and show you his perfect ratzon. The bad news is he's got to put someone down to do it. Yahweh, in order to set one up or raise chen, has to put someone else down, meaning, because by definition, listen, you're going to get their job. You're going to get their education. You're going to get their ministry. You're going to get their sound equipment. He's going to transfer that stuff to you. He's going to give you the benefit of that stuff. He's going to promote you over another. He's going to approve of you over another. He's going to give you advantages that another does not have. He's going to bestow privilege on you that someone doesn't have. By definition, there's a transference going on. In other words, favor, listen, does not always come from the heavens. Sometimes it comes from man to man. Yahweh causes favor to pass from one man to another. There's no respecter of persons. You and I have to position ourselves for his favor. Does that make any sense?
Yes, I got it now.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. But the bad news is that someone's going to lose that favor because he's going to plan on transferring it to you. Now, we could say the wealth of favor, the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the righteous. But that applies to material things, does it not?
Yes.
What about within the kingdom? What about when he transfers favor in the kingdom?
Oh, shoot.
Did you ever see a pastor lose his anointing? Did you ever see a minister lose his reputation? Did you ever see a congregation that was gung-ho for Yahweh have to shut its lights and close its doors just 3 months after you left? Did you ever see that?
Oh, man.
In the natural, nothing changed. But Yahweh shifted and transferred favor. He promoted one, and he put down and closed the doors of another. You see what I'm saying? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. If you can't say Amen, say oh my. Malachi. A nice Italian Jewish boy. Malachi. Give me a page when you get there, please. Malachi. Throw me a page when you get there, please. Here we are. Malachi 1:2. 569, right? 569. Malachi 1:2. Watch this. Here's a glimpse of raising chen. Yahweh raises nations by raising chen. Yahweh raises marriages by raising chen. Yahweh raises careers by raising chen. Yahweh raises individuals to success and charismatic positions by raising chen. Malachi 1:2. I have loved you, says Yahweh. Yet Israel says, in what way have you loved us, Papa? I don't have a home on the intercoastal. I'm confused. I work for a living. I have calluses on my hand. I bring forth bread with the sweat of my brow. I'm not married to Raquel Walsh. My husband's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm single. Nobody even dates me. Nobody calls me. What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about.